Hey everyone, so my name is Jill. We're going to go ahead and get started. For those of you who don't know me, I am the owner and founder of Cherry Picked Web Co. We are a website company. Our niche is chiropractors. Um, but we have several others underneath management. We started the company in 2021. We have around 150 to 60 clients underneath management. I say 10 because those are 10 new projects that aren't quite up and running yet, but that's very fast growth. And how I got into all of this was because my husband is a chiropractor and we have a practice in South Tampa. And I was his marketing director for about 8 years, and I did all the in-person marketing, and then COVID happened, and so we learned online marketing. And so I didn't learn all of this by myself. I had my coach, Tristan Schaub. He has a course called Twisty CA. You'll hear me plug it a lot today, because I learned everything you're about to listen to from him. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so let me make sure you guys can still hear me before we get started. Okay, cool. Joe, I like your goal of 2023 is money. That's awesome. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and just roll with it. I'm going to talk. If you have questions, just drop them in the chat. We'll get to questions a little bit later if we have time. But we have a lot of information for you packed into this webinar. It's going to be a little bit overwhelming, and I'm going to talk very quickly because I do want to get through as much of it as I can. And then we have a special guest tonight. We're actually going to bring Tristan Schaub on at the very end. And he's going to give you a little bit of gold nuggets as well, and tell you about his program, which is where I learned everything. But I have in front of me, I don't know if you can see me, I have all of my notes that helped me to market my husband's practice to the best of my ability, both online and offline. And I do feel like they go hand in hand. A lot of what I say is going to have the context of a chiropractic office, but we'll try to switch it up if you're not a chiropractor here and you're on the call tonight for something that you can use for your business too. So let's get started. Okay, so an overview, an introduction of who I am. I told you my name is Jill. I've been a marketing director for a while. I have my own company now. We're going to go through objectives, a digital plan, how-tos, content creation, circle of life videos, press releases, posting structure, recommendations. I also, about an hour before the call went through, just kind of if I forgot anything in this presentation and wrote that down, and we'll review that as well. And I will have a link for you after this so you can take your time to really digest all the information shared with you tonight. So the objectives of online marketing is you want to be able to establish yourself with authority and to have an online presence. So a good book that you can get, actually, Dr. Sean Dill and Dr. Lacey book, they recommended reading. It's called The Pendulum, and it talks about a 30-year swing from a we society to a me society. It's a really great book. I'm not going to get into it, but it talks about people, how they basically their purchasing power, how they make decisions is a we society versus a me society. And right now we're in a society that people want to work with people who they know, like, and trust. If you are joining me on the call, if you wouldn't mind muting yourself so you can get rid of background noise, I appreciate it. Thank you. So we want to establish you as the online authority in your field, in your community. We want to create a following. We want to create online buzz for your business. So that happens through events, through your Ashiptos, which we'll get into later. And then when we do this over a period of time and we're consistent, then you'll get the new clients. So one frustration I always had working with marketing companies or website companies is they promise really fast results quickly. And I know only one over 10-year period, her name's Stephanie Dub Blake, that she has amazing results very quickly because she knows what she's doing. But a lot of the other people out there, just generalized, they don't like to educate their users in the fact that online marketing is a long end game, and we'll get into that a little bit later. So how do we accomplish all of these things? This is a list of 10 things that we're going to try our best to work through in an hour. These are all of my personal notes from Twisty CA, which I paid a lot of money to be in, and it was, I don't know, over 10 weeks course. And so I'm trying to jam a lot of information into an hour. So again, I apologize if I'm going quickly, but use your phone, take pictures, take notes, and then also you should have received your download. Hopefully you printed that out so you can follow along and make notes as well. But we want to post regularly on social platforms that resonate with you and your ideal client as well. So post regularly on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. If there's other social platforms like LinkedIn that you enjoy posting on, we just want to make sure that we're posting consistently and that we're posting really good content. We want to update original content on your website. This is good for website crawling. So Google does this thing where they'll crawl your website for new information, and then they'll rank you higher based on the information if people are searching for it. Third are press releases. Fourth is email marketing. So I feel like this is the most underutilized tool that business owners have, and it's essentially free or very low cost. So when it comes to the type of emails that you're sending, I have it here for you. You want it to be 80% content, so something that someone can actually use to help them grow themselves personally or their business or a monetary goal. You want 10% of it to be conversational, so just engaging with them in conversation, asking them questions, and then 10% sales. So that would be where conversions would come in. You want to push them into the next step of working with you. Blogging, I know a lot of people don't have the time to do this. If you were interested in blogging for your website, I do have a contact for you. I can introduce the two of you. His name is Zach. He's great. And he has a background in SEO as well. Creating ethical bribes on your website or your home pages. So I don't know if you follow me very closely, but I give away a lot of stuff, and I don't give away that stuff to make money. I actually give it away because I want to gain people's names and emails, because then I email them. In doing this year, it's taken me pretty much all of 2022 to build my list, where I can send consistent emails. And in this year, I got 2 clients that do not know me from Adam, and they were from my email list from giveaways. And so I spend in those giveaways, I think I spent maybe around a couple $100, and I made 10,000 because of my website packages and the packages that they chose. So yeah, ethical bribes, emailing, it's all great. Benevolence campaigns.
Hello. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Are you ready for the screamer?
Let me make sure we're all muted.
Athea, are you serious? Athea. All right, we'll do it fast. I'm
Guys,
sorry.
if you're on the Zoom, if you wouldn't mind just muting your microphone for me. Let's see if there's anyone else. Okay, I think that was it. Okay, perfect. Okay, and where were we? So Ash Tiptoe events we'll get into later. In-person asking, so asking your clients directly for things like referrals, or if they know someone that can help you. All of these things are going to help you accomplish your online digital goals. So these things that I'm talking about tonight, you might be thinking, why is Jill talking about this? This has nothing to do with website or website design or anything that she does, but I want to challenge you that it actually does. So I can build you an amazing website, and it's going to translate into millions of dollars in revenue, and you're going to get all of these awesome people to your website. But the reality is I can create an awesome website, and my job is to get them to stay and stick and engage and schedule with you or book with you or whatever that next step would be with you. but we need to work together on driving traffic to the website, right? Otherwise, your website's just going to sit there for you and it's really not going to serve any purpose. And so how do we do that? Again, when it comes to online marketing or building a digital calendar, consistency is the key. So if you go and you're really, really solid at posting for a week or 2 weeks, that's awesome. But we want to try to stick to like 2 or 3 categories that you know you can stick with consistently long term. So when Jason and I first started online marketing, I literally had pages of notes that I went through with him. And I said, these are all the things that we need to be doing, but let's pick 3 things and nail them down and get it to where it's either automated, we don't have to think about it, we schedule it out. And once we nail down those 3 things, then let's move on to adding more to that plate, because all the information I'm going to share with you tonight is going to be a lot when I start moving a little bit more quickly through this presentation. But all of these things on the screen that you see are absolutely foundational for your SEO. If you do not want to pay thousands of dollars for Google Ads. So Google Ads is a very, very small part of SEO. So we want to focus on, again, engaging with your followers, being very present on social media, whatever platform and where your ideal client would be hanging out, and relate to them and just, get to know them, get to know where they're struggling at in their business. And then you're going to be the solution to their struggles. So let's move on. So this was just a slide to make the last one a little bit easier to understand. This is in no particular order. But let's hop into it. So we're going to get into the real nitty-gritty of how we're going to utilize social media. So by posting regularly on Facebook or Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, to do all of these things. I'm not teaching you anything that's, super mind-blowing. But if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. And so I wanted to kind of give you some ideas of what I did for Jason, or I presented to Jason and I said, this is what we could do. What do you want to do? And so that's another thing I wanted to challenge you on the call. Hopefully you maybe have a CA with you that would be helping you with your digital marketing calendar this year for 2023. If you don't, no problem, because there are tools out there that we'll get into a little bit later that will help you schedule these posts. But kind of start to think now, what are some questions that you can answer that clients have asked you? Give them advice on that. Share success stories. So in our office, Jason became really well known at our local hospital in the midwifery care section of the hospital for flipping babies. And like we all know as chiropractors that as a chiropractor, you don't flip the baby. You're simply just performing an adjustment on the mother, making sure her hips are properly aligned. You're allowing space for the baby to flip and the baby flips, and it's amazing. And everyone is amazed by that. So sharing success stories, we had so many moms with breech babies come in. He was able to give them, an adjustment, the baby flipped, and it was amazing. And we had so many referrals from that. So just encourage you to share success stories of clients, success stories that you've had, like in your own personal life. Giveaways. So this year I gave away a paddleboard, which has absolutely nothing to do with websites, but it's something in my area that people enjoy doing. So again, kind of think outside of the box, think outside of chiropractic, and think how you could engage your ideal client. So if your ideal client is a busy mom, she has 3 children, she's typically would be a stay-at-home mom, the dad makes, $200,000 a year or more, like what's something that mom would really enjoy? Would it be a day night with her husband? Would it be time to herself? And kind of just maybe pry a little bit in your community and see what they're into and then give that away. So my paddleboard was to engage my local community because I live in like a little beach town. And then I gave away just recently a ring light and a Yeti mic for the idea of a podcast, if someone wanted to start a podcast. And that was more to engage my professional following. So I know a lot of people that work with me want to go to the next level in their business far beyond their chiropractic office. So they're looking beyond other things they can do to engage. And a very popular thing that's been mentioned a lot is starting a podcast. And so I thought to myself, what better way than to get them started with the two basic things you would need to do that. Let's see, share your personal life. So funny stories here. I feel like I post a lot of great content that would like really help someone's business. And my two most viral posts have nothing to do with websites or website design. And it's almost mind blowing to where I almost want to post like really outlandish stuff to see what kind of following I'll engage. So for example, I have on here pets. The other day, I posted a picture, I don't know if you saw it, of me and this really cute puppy. And I have like, I don't know, close to 400 likes on the image. And I mean, guys, like it's a cute photo, but 400 likes is a lot. Like if you look at any other of my other posts, like there's like 30. So I'm like over here mind blown that I can post a picture of me and a dog and get this much engagement, which is crazy. So I challenge you to think outside of the box. And then my second most viral post was an Instagram reel. And I think I'm up to like 4,000 views. And I did turkey bowling. Like again, had nothing to do with website design, but it was just me having a night out with my girlfriend for Thanksgiving. My husband was out camping with our son. And I was like, you know what? Let me just, why not? Like, let's go turkey bowling. And people loved it. But the idea behind it is that Cherry Picked is now on the radar of thousands of people for something that I didn't even realize. And so I just encourage you, be creative, get behind the scenes. Don't be afraid to share your personal life, because that's what's going to engage people to want to work with you, because it's you and they find you very interesting. And you could be sitting there thinking like, well, I'm not really interesting. I guarantee you that you are interesting. So if you just, get over the fear, just shake it off, like, Taylor Swift, shake it off, whatever. Just get over it and post about yourself, and you will engage your ideal client that way. Social posting continued. So another thing that you can do, and this is how we're going to start to repurpose content with your website and social media. So whenever you post information or an article or a video or a photo, you should always repurpose it and post it on multiple platforms. Then you always want to redirect those people back to your website to something that would be engaging or would have a call to action. So what that would look like, I put here, these are all the examples that I had done about 2 years ago when I first went through Twisty CA's program. And I said, these are all the things that we could put chiropractic up against. And then for the purpose of tonight, I do work with a lot of realtors as well. So it was like, what, as you as a realtor, like what could you put yourself against to where you're like, you're the better option. And so for example, the Versus articles are going to be taking what you do, and you're going to be writing how what you do benefits that person and their problem more than the other thing. So hopefully that makes sense. But then you're going to write this in the form of a blog on your website. Then you're going to take that URL of the blog on your website and you're going to post it on Facebook. And then you're just going to basically start creating this web where when someone clicks on your stuff, it is a gigantic web that is very hard for them to get out of, because it just clicks from one platform to the next, and they get to see who you are. They get to see what you do for a living. And to be honest, implementing this through my Cherry Picked business, I know that is the reason I have grown so quickly, is because doing all of the steps I've learned with Twisty CA and doing it the appropriate way has led me to the success that I am seeing today. So another thing too is, I don't know, again, I can't see all of you, I can just see my screen, but hopefully you were able to download the handout that I emailed you earlier. Let's see, if you can hear me still, I want you to type in the word money into the chat so that I know that you're still with me. All right, Mason. You were the first one to type it, so I want you to email me, jill@cherrypickedwebco.com, that you were the first one, and I will send you a little present in the mail. Thanks for being present. Okay, awesome. I see everyone's on. So another thing too, all of this can be very overwhelming, but if you have a plan and a structure in place, you basically are waking up, you look at your calendar and you're like, these are the things that we're doing today. And that's all you focus on. So really all of the hard work and the effort comes right now as we're planning for the next year. So a little insight into Cherry Picked. I am automating all of my email sequences for 2023, so that I at least have one email going out per week. The reason I'm doing that is because data has shown if you engage with your email list once a week for a solid 52 weeks, you have about a 30 to 40% engagement rate, which is extremely high. So if you have 2,000 people, you know, you're engaging a lot of people to grow your business. So I put this slide up here because I wanted to show you, and just to also say, this is real life. Like, I did not make up these slides for this presentation. I literally took my notes that I had given Jason about 2 years ago, and I said, this is what we need to start doing per Tristan, and this is how we're going to break it down. So I want you to take all the information I'm presenting to you tonight, and I want you to make it your own, because what would resonate with you or me is going to be different, and we also have different ideal clientele too. So for my social posting, this was taken directly from my notes. We had Motivational Monday. We posted a testimony of a mom or someone Tuesday. They could either be written testimonies or video testimonies. Wednesday would be like an ideal client day. Excuse me. So who's your ideal client and speak to them. Find out the questions they're asking, find out what they want to know, find out what they're struggling with, and then answer it and be the authority to them, because they will most likely choose you over the competitor for whatever it is that you're doing, because they're able to see into what you're doing and who you are online first, before making that decision to come in. Hillary, I don't think I got the slides. Okay, no problem at all. I will make sure that everyone gets the slides, and you know where to email me if you don't get them. But after this webinar, I was planning on sending a follow-up email with this slide deck that I'm showing you, the handout that I made for you guys that's a full calendar and a structure so that you can fill it out with your team, as well as this is being recorded, so you'll be able to watch back as well. So no worries. Hillary and Mindy, I have you. Okay, so posting structure. So I think you guys got this. I don't want to sit here and read slides to you. But this helped us to schedule content for a month. So we knew that we needed 4 testimonies to cover the month of January. Owner. There's someone on my call and they are labeled as owner. I got you. I will make sure everyone has their notes. So let's move on. All right, updating your website content. This is why you want to work with Cherry Picked right here, because your, no offense, cookie cutter website company, they will provide you a ton of content. They will not update it frequently, which is really important for indexing. So there's these little things called crawlers. I imagine them as like a digital spider. I don't know why, but they basically sit there and they scan the internet all day long for new information. So if your website is sitting there stagnant and nothing is being updated, then you're most likely to rank lower than if you're continually adding content to your website that's of value to someone who's Googling that topic. So how do we update original content onto our website frequently? That is a great question. We can blog, we can update reviews, we can put endorsements on there, switch out pictures. And just because I say switch out a picture, that doesn't mean we change the structure of the website. That just means that maybe a picture of you and a pregnant mom and a baby has been on there for a while. Let's switch it up and do a different pregnant mom and baby if that's your ideal client. Or if your ideal client is anyone with a spine, maybe we switch it up to having an athlete on there and then you attract an athlete. But it's really important to know that ideal client so that we can make sure the verbiage and the imagery on your website matches that to attract those types of people. Video footage of you doing your thing is huge. It kind of takes away that barrier of being unknown, because a lot of the work that we do and a lot of the way that we connect with people, especially post-COVID, is online. And so you'll notice I post a ton. I like being very private, and to be quite honest with you, the only reason I post so much on social media is because it does make my company money. And so I want to challenge you that if you're super uncomfortable or you don't want to post a lot or you're nervous what your friends and family are going to think, to be honest, they're not going to think anything and they're just probably not going to care. And if they do care, well, whatever, you're trying to grow your business, right? So everything on the left you can do with websites, or my left, I believe it would be your left too. I'm not really sure how Zoom shows you that, but underneath the to-do list is things that you can do to update your website content. And underneath ideas are websites that you can use to find ideas that people are actually looking for. So answerthepublic.com, I believe you can use the free service. You can also do a paid service. I always have just used the free service. It will show you what people are Googling and what they're searching for. And you can then turn around and write an article on that. You can write, you can do a 30-second video on it, and then we can post it online. And so now people are Googling content, and that content that you just made an article or video on is popping up for them. Explodingtopics.com, or I'm sorry, explodingtopics.com is the one that's Google, what people are Googling. Answer the Public are going to be the top 80 questions in whatever field that you put into the blank. So if you go to answerthepublic.com and you type in chiropractic, it will give you the top 80 questions that people are Googling in chiropractic. And then you have 80 questions where some of them are kind of stupid, I'm not going to lie, but I would say 60 out of 80 questions are really good and they make for solid quality content that you can create things around. And again, answer questions that you're asked. We've already addressed that. And also current events. So if there's a current event, like, for example, I never watched Ellen DeGeneres ever, but I do know who Twitch is. And we all know the sad news, right? That's a current event that binds a lot of people together because it's a current event and it's big news. So if you start to utilize that information inside your practice, then again, that current event that you're writing about or that you're talking about then becomes something that people will see if they're looking for it. All right, press releases. So these are fun. I recommend doing these quarterly. These are just these you want to do for SEO. So a press release is basically paying to have an article written in other online publishings that you're paying for, but it looks like they wrote it about you. So it's kind of a way to hack the system, so to speak. You can use pressreleasejet.com in order to accomplish this. It's $99. You can add, Hillary said that site was so easy to use, and she is so right. All you have to do is you write a Word article about something big. So if you're just opening, write about that. If you saw your 10,000th adjustment, if you sold your 10,000th home, if you hit $1 million in business, whatever you want to write about, make sure it's a big, lofty number that's impressive because people read that kind of stuff. We're going to submit that article into this website. It's extremely easy to use. If you want a more detailed guide on how to use pressreleasejet.com, I actually have one on my website, cherrypickedwebco.com/digi downloads. And I have a plethora of downloads there, but one of them, is how to use a press release. The reason why you want to do this is because it creates backlinks to your website. And backlinks are the #1 way to rank very high on Google, because backlinks tell your audience or the reader or the user that your website is a trusted source. Backlinking is also the #1 hardest thing to do, because if you and your friend Susie are backlinking each other's websites, that's cool, but you want to get it outside of your network, because then that backlink is stronger. Hopefully this makes sense. So yeah, we're going to move on. So I want to make sure we have time for the special guest. So Google Ads. I want to go ahead and disclaim, I am not an ad specialist. I am just letting you know what you can incorporate into a digital marketing plan. If you need ad help, I am not your person. I would tell you that I am your person to help you create a funnel or that back end landing area of an ad. But again, Google Ads, I'm going to touch very lightly on this. So you can run ads for your business and you can run AdWords on competitors. I recommend not doing that, but you can. It's a very gross way to market your business. Because if it was done to you, you wouldn't be very happy. An example of running ads on your competitors is Peloton versus Nordic Track, the workout bikes. So at one point when Peloton was extremely popular, what Nordic Track did was they bought AdWords on Peloton. So when you would Google Peloton, Nordic Track would actually pop up before Peloton. And the natural reaction for someone on Google is to just click the first link that they see. And so people, all of that traffic was actually going to Nordic Track because they bought those AdWords. So again, it's a very, I want to say sleazy, but I'll just say it, sleazy way to market. I don't recommend doing it, but you can. Facebook ads. So another thing too, all of the items I'm talking about are going to help your website perform better because you're driving traffic there by doing all of these external things. For Facebook ads, there's a difference between ads and boosted posts. So another thing with any ads or any money that you put towards an ad, I want you guys to get into your head that you're not going to get new clients or new patients right away. I want you to understand that you're putting money and investing money into brand awareness, and you're investing money into top of mind awareness, and that you're boosting your posts and you're running ads so that your Facebook page can be liked. When you get, I believe Tristan told me, I think it's when you get to 1,000 likes or followers on Facebook, you can actually run ads for a fraction of the cost because you can run them on lookalike audiences. So what I did was I spent, I think maybe $300 or $400, and I split that budget between an ad and a boosted post. And my only goal, I did not want a new client from it. My only goal was to get likes on my Facebook page. I went from having, I think, around 650 something likes to now over 1,400. And I think I'm closer to the 1,500 mark because now people are organically finding me because of my lookalike audiences. But again, my goal was top of mind awareness. I want people to know that Cherry Pick exists. And I think just from dealing with ad companies, again, reminder, my background was with Jason in our office and his marketing director. I was promised the world of, hey, just give us, $2,500 a month. We're going to get you 30 new patients in the door every single month, and you're going to make millions of dollars. And it's like, yeah, that sounds amazing. Let's do it. But then when I come on the back end and I learn it because I'm intrigued by it, and Tristan is a phenomenal teacher, he's like, really, yes, those things can happen and do happen, but really, if we're doing Facebook ads and posts and Google ads and all of that stuff, it really should be just to get the business name out there so people that know that you exist and that they're the top of their mind when they need you. Because the reality is, what happens if they see you and they're like, they're not educated on chiropractic yet. They're like, my back doesn't hurt, I'm fine. And then they go for a bike ride and they fall off their bike and now they hurt their back. They're going to think of Foothills Chiropractic, like, oh, I'm going to go there. I just saw them the other day. They were making some funny meme posts, So real life examples of everything that I just shared with you. I know I threw a lot at you. Again, if you're just hopping on the call, you'll get the recording of this Zoom, this slide deck, and the notes. But real life examples of everything I'm talking about and then some. So I had mentioned ethical bribes earlier in the call, and I do ethical bribes a lot because information like a person's name and a person's email is gold for me, because then I put them into my email sequence, because when they signed up for this, they agreed to receive emails from me. So I want to give you real life numbers, no fluff. The last giveaway I did was a giveaway for a Yeti mic and a Diva ring light. And I had 74 leads from it, over 487 entries. So you might be thinking, well, how are those two numbers related? So I use kingsumo.com, and it's a giveaway platform that makes it look really nice, and it's super easy for people to enter giveaways. You can also set parameters on that website of what you want people to do. So for example, my goal here, all of my goal, because I'm a new business, I'm, a year and a half into it, maybe a little bit less. And all I want right now is I want people to know that I exist, because I want to serve as many, my niche, I'm just going to be real. My niche is chiropractors. I love chiropractic. My husband's a chiropractor, and I really want to stick in that vein. And so I want as many chiropractors to know that I exist as possible. And so I'm doing all of my giveaways and my social posting for that purpose. So on King Sumo, you can actually set it to where they get more entries based on what they do. So entering is like one entry. Liking your Facebook posts, you can give them 5 to 10 entries, whatever you want. And so my entries were high, meaning I got a lot of people to not only enter the giveaway, which 74 people entered, but out of those 74, more of them liked my social media and they shared it and things like that. I spent around $400 on a nice ring light and a Yeti mic. Dr. Chris Colgan, if you guys know him, he actually was the one to win it. I spent around $400 on those 2 items, sending it to him and Sandy. And I got one website client out of that giveaway that literally was just like, I entered the giveaway just to see if I could win it. I started following you and I want to work with you. He chose a website package that was $6,000 package. So now if I consistently follow up with those leads, my math tells me that 10% will engage. So how much money is that bottom line? So again, don't cheap out on your giveaways. Don't cheap out on your gifts. I could have potentially 7 more new clients from that if I follow up with them the right way. Benevolence. So I'm dropping a lot of gold here. I'm not spending a ton of time. Again, guys, I learned all of these things over the course of like months, and I'm trying to shove as much information as I can into an hour. A lot of this stuff, sorry, just reading the comments to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. A lot of this stuff that I have learned from Black Diamond Club with Dr. Sean Dill and Dr. Lacey Book. They actually have a link to try out their Facebook group for 3 months for free. So I'll shoot that over when I send everything else over to you guys in the emails as well. But again, Tristan Schaub is also part of all of this information too. I keep plugging them because I just want to make sure you guys know I am super smart, but all of this information was learned. And I'm just, fortunate to share it with you guys. So, okay, so benevolence. So this is the concept of going to a local restaurant, a local business, a local coffee shop, and leaving a tab for $100, $200, whatever you feel in your heart to do. Leave that tab open. And then you're going to make a Facebook Live video about it with that business owner. And you're going to say, hey, if you come by Apollo Beach Coffee Shop and you mention that Jill with Cherry Picked, they will give a cup of coffee, to you on me. And then when that tab runs out, sorry, out of luck, but the first 10 people to come in and grab their coffee from Apollo Beach Coffee Shop gets it on me, whatever. And then you have them share it to their people, you share it. And then now what you're doing is you're taking your community and they're taking their community and you're crisscrossing communities. So now being in community with that coffee shop owner has opened you up to their entire network and vice versa. So now you're both gaining business and recognition from it. I don't know if you guys know Dr. Christine. She's in Seattle. She's phenomenal. When they first talked about benevolence campaigns, she hit the ground running and she did it every week consistently. Enough so to where her local news wrote an article about her. Can you imagine what that would do for your business if you had a local news art, a news channel or a publishing write about you? Not only is she now getting the backlinking again, because other people are writing about how awesome she is getting the recognition from another source that she is a legitimate person and this is really cool. And now her business is going to explode with new patients. They're like, I want to go to that doctor because she's really cool. She leaves $100 tabs everywhere. So it's just things that are outside of the box thinking for your online marketing. And then always have something too. So this was a challenge for me because I'm an entirely online based business. I do websites and I connect with all of my people via the computer. So I was like, well, how am I going to do an in-person event? And I switched it and I made it to where I wanted to get out of my house because I was tired of being stuck in my house. I live, eat, work, and breathe here. And I was like, I'm going to do a community event that kind of has nothing to do with networking. And if it turns into networking, cool. But I really honestly, in my heart of hearts, started it because I wanted to meet people in my community because a lot of people are all over the United States for me. And so this company, Board and Brush Apollo Beach, they are a chain. I think they have like 13 locations. They were opening up right down the road from my house. I'm like, this is perfect. So I actually got on the phone with Julie before they opened and I said, my name is Jill. I own Cherry Picked Webco. This is what I'm looking to do. Can we work something out? And she was like, yeah, let me think about it. And so she thought about it and we came up with a group called Crafted Connections. Crafted Connections is it's turned into a networking event where we are bringing small business owners in my community together. I sponsor the craft. So when they come to the event, if they want to do a craft, they don't have to pay. It's on me. We have local sponsor the food, the alcohol, and we just have a good time for 2 hours and we support each other. This is a picture of the first one we did. I actually did my first one the first week of December. And there is already talk all over town about we're really excited for the second one. And so that's really cool because now you're becoming the authority within your community. So, now you're not only becoming the authority within your community physically, you're going to take and post the crap out of everything that you're doing in person. So you'll see on my screen, this is a real Facebook post from Board and Brush. I don't know how I managed to do this. I think it's pretty cool because they are a corporation, but there they go, tagging Cherry Picked Webco. How huge is that when they have over thousands of followers and they see that they're going to, I get brand recognition. And again, it's just all about intertwining the in-person, the online version, and again, creating this community that's both now on and offline, right? So hopefully I'm making sense to you guys. Hopefully you can see there are a lot of ways to market your practice online besides just the normal social Facebook posts of like, hey, does your spine look like this? We want to get out there and get engaged with our ideal client and our community. Again, I put this slide just so you guys see everything of what I have. And I wrote down some notes that I did not include in my PowerPoint that I want to go ahead and just talk about and mention quickly before I bring Tristan Schaub on to talk to you guys. Another thing that you can do when you're thinking about creating a digital marketing calendar for 2023 is you want to also think about, do you have any national holidays coming up that are really fun to celebrate? For example, tomorrow I'm extremely excited because it's National Ugly Sweater Day and I love a good ugly sweater. I don't know, I just am a Christmas sweater fan. I think they're fantastic. And my Ebony, my girl, she goes, hey Jill, Friday is ugly sweater day. Like we should get dressed up in sweaters and post about it online and like make it a thing. And I'm like, that's a great idea. So tomorrow you will see a scheduled post from Ebony and I. We dressed up in ugly sweaters earlier this week and we took pictures, and you'll see the post tomorrow because tomorrow's National Ugly Sweater Day. And I just think it's really fun to incorporate stuff like that. For an example for you guys, the first week of January is Hunt for Happiness Week. For that, I feel like that applies in the realm of chiropractic with like mental health, getting adjusted, keeping people happy. Maybe you can like give away stress balls. I don't know, something, just get creative with it, guys. You can find national days on nationaldaycalendar.com, and they will give you all of the national days, national weeks, national months, and you can plan those into your calendar as well. The third week in January is National Healthy Weight Week. So if I have any chiropractors on this call that incorporate ChiroThin into their practices, that would be a great week to say open enrollment for these types of clients. Like, it's National Healthy Weight Week. Let's get it going. And then the last week in January is CRNA Week, which I know they do a lot of like bending down and leaning over, and that would be a great way to get those types of clients into your practice as well. But again, I want to tie all of this back into leveraging your social media content, your blogging, circle of life content, reviews, endorsements, and we're going to leverage your website with all of it. So again, we're creating this big giant web and net of information that you're just flooding the internet with. And we want to make sure that whatever you're flooding the internet with is really great quality content, because that's going to make people wonder, if they're giving this away for free, what is it like to actually work with that person? To touch on circle of life content, we might have to just do a follow-up Zoom to this one because I am running out of time, but circle of life is where you would take a topic that's a hot topic, a current topic. You can even use explodingtopics.com, create a 30-second video snippet to a minute about it. Oh, Caitlin, hey, that's a great question. Circle of life content. Okay, awesome. So I just got done explaining. So you're going to talk about a topic for about 30 seconds to a minute. I'm going to go ahead and suggest talking on it for a minute, because YouTube does this thing where if it's not 1 minute, it goes into a short, and then you actually can't use it on your website. So I'm going to tell you to up that 30 seconds to a minute, and you're going to talk on a topic for a minute. And then we're going to post that on YouTube. We're going to take that YouTube link and we're going to post it on Facebook. And then we're going to take that same link and we're going to post it on your website for education. And now, again, you've just created a circle of life for a piece of content where no matter where someone goes, they can follow that content on 3 different forms of your media. Does that make sense, Caitlin and Tina? Type yes in the comment if you hear me. Okay, cool. If you have follow-up questions for any of the items you see on the screen, you can send me an email, jill@cherrypickedwebco.com, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you guys have. We reviewed benevolence, blogging, Ash tipped, all that stuff. Okay, great. Another thing you can do is mailers. That's a more technical way to market. So I just kind of threw it up here as an idea, something to kind of maybe discuss in a follow-up webinar. But you can grab a name and an email and then geo-target. It's a whole thing. So maybe we'll save that for a follow-up webinar. Just follow me to keep an eye out for when I do that follow-up webinar on this. I am making a goal for myself to have a webinar a month. So if there's any topics that you guys want to know about, want to talk about, let me know and I will cover them for you. Get really good gifts. I get so much social media attention from my gifts that I give. I don't give gifts for the social media attention. I give gifts because I genuinely want to make people who I work with feel special, and to let them know that I really genuinely appreciate them being here and being a part of Cherry Picked. But I'm not mad about having social media presence about it either. And so I believe that I am now becoming known for just, nailing gift giving, which is really cool. I never thought I would be that way. But again, think of gifts that you can give your clients. And then giveaways we already covered. Another thing that you can do to create community online is creating a client-only Facebook group. You're going to post information in that group that you don't post anywhere else. So I have a private Facebook group for my cherry picked fam. I call them my cherry picked fam, and all of my clients are in that group. And I post a lot of content in there. They also have access to me pretty much 24/7 to ask whatever they want in that group. And I do my best to follow up with a Loom video, which shows them whatever they're asking to their question. Hillary said webinar ideas would be King Sumo, ethical bribe stuff, landing pages, best ways to email weekly. Okay, I got you. I will write all that down. You can also post that in our group too, Hillary. Decorate your office for monthly themes. So you'll also notice when I do send out the notes, if you didn't get them, I apologize, but you will get them, I promise. This is what I used for Jason when we first started incorporating online marketing into our office. So I highlighted, what I think that we should be doing. And then I asked Jason, what do you want? Because if you have a CA with you helping you to do this, I think it's really important that you give them the space to be creative, because online marketing is a very creative thing. And if your CA feels stunted, like they can't express themselves or be creative, they're most likely not going to be good at this. I know Dr. Sean and Dr. Lacey, they actually reward their people for bad ideas to create a culture that it's okay to come to the table with an idea as long as you have something. And I really love that, because as a creative person myself, there's nothing that will shut me up more than if I feel like I can't just be myself and be creative, even if the idea is terrible. Okay. Okay. And lastly, and then we're going to bring Tristan on, and then we'll just do a follow-up Zoom to everything I just had mentioned, plus what Hillary wants to hear about. Decorating your office, you can use orientaltrading.com. They have really cheap decorations for your office. To get people's information, like how I do it, I do a lot of guides. So some guide ideas would be 10 ways to avoid blank, like avoid text neck, avoid a car accident, whatever. Top 7 contributors as to why you're broke, lazy, overweight, whatever, you name it. Do-it-yourself guides. So a lot of people get afraid to talk about what it is they do and give away information. Don't be, because you're going to literally, you can hand it to them on a silver platter, but the reality is they're going to need you to execute it. So if you give them a do-it-yourself guide to stretching, the chances are they're not going to do it themselves. They just like free stuff. And then some gift giving websites that you can use is Uline for packaging, Iconic for art, Discount Mugs. I get asked all the time where I get my mugs from. It's discountmugs.com, giftonmarket.com, and boxfox.com. Okay, if you have any questions about all of that information I just threw at you, just send me an email. Again, jill@cherrypickedwebco.com. And right now I want to introduce Tristan. He is my mentor and a very good friend. I cannot say enough good things about him. This business exists because of Tristan. So take it away.
Do that. Well, I'm so proud of you and what you've done and helped and have helped extend. It's funny, behind the scenes, me and Sean always laugh about kind of our DNA being around the chiropractic industry, and people even don't like us or don't want to pay us money. We're happy because we can build people like you up, and they pay you money and you help them and support them, and you help chiropractic, and more people are getting utilization of chiropractic, and more people are seeing chiropractors. So that's our goal overall. So even if you don't like us, you have been, I don't think anyone, it's so hard for me to, and just full disclosure to anyone out there, Jill said something about Twisty CA. Honestly, I would only take a recommendation from Jill now for anyone, because I don't want to take anyone on that. No one's ever going to be as good as you as a Twisty CA student. So it's so hard for me to take someone on. I wanted to share something that I think is really important for you guys, that one is going to help Jill make more money right now. 2, you're going to have a moment of like, shit, but you're going to understand I'm right about this. So for 2023, the era of I just have one website is over. because of multiple channels, because of multiple ways to optimize with search engine optimization, with funnels, with distribution through Facebook, social media, the era of one website is over. If you just have one website, you are way behind the game. So what I mean by that is, not only do you need your traditional, which Jill does amazing work with, if you guys aren't using her, you got Bobo head, in my opinion. The traditional practice website, yes, you need to have. But you also need to have, in 2023 and beyond, a personal brand website. So this is a site where you have your resources, your personal branding, your podcast, your personal blog. And there's many ways to do that effectively and efficiently. And I don't know anyone better that can build you a personal branded website than Jill. So you not only need a personal brand website in 2023, but the second, and I think most important thing you guys need to start doing is niching down. And some of the heavyweights in a lot of industries and professional service space, especially in plastic surgery, if you guys don't see what plastic surgeons do, look to the plastic surgery area, and they are always 5 to 15 years ahead of everyone else in healthcare and other professional services. And they for years have been doing niche sites. So what I mean by that for you guys is, if you are, Jill mentioned, if you're doing ChiroThin, you need to have a dedicated weight loss site. If you're doing SoftWave, you need to have a dedicated SoftWave site. If you're focused on growing your personal injury, you need to have a personal injury site. Jill can create you guys these either microsites or alternative full-blown websites, but you need to have niche sites. These are assets. And then what kills me, Jill, is because your rates are phenomenal. And I know in some windows of the world, they're like, oh my God, that's crazy. And you know how we share our thoughts on the cookie cutter websites. You buy cheap, you buy twice. It's amazing how important a website is. Yet the cost of a website, it might be like, one lifetime value patient. And that's all people are willing to invest in, which is silly. So having these assets, like if you're focused on migraines, if you're the migraine expert in your community, you need to have a migraine dedicated focused website. So I know that many are going probably, crap, another website. Yeah, it's the reality. If you want to control the narrative, control your community. And then the last thing I'll say, you don't necessarily need these, but this is the icing on the cake. This is when you get into risky, twisty territory. This is when you get into complete domination. You could be building your own directory, third-party sites. I know Hillary's on here. Hillary could be owning Carmel Chiropractic, topcarmelchiropractors.com, and have a directory site where her and two of her friends are the leads and get the majority of the leads. You can create reward programs with your strategic partners and create a reward site for your community. You could have your own networking site. Jill talked about having a Facebook community group. You can extend that to having your own community website, owning your town, with having directories and resources. And basically in that regard, you're just owning traffic and leads. But I'm guaranteeing you guys need to have a personal brand site that also got your reviews, your brag book, if I like to call it. So your endorsements, your reviews. But I would say definitely, if you don't have a niche site in 2023, oh boy, you're missing out. And it's a huge asset and has compounding interest with it. So that's my gold nugget for 2023 is the era of one website is over. It's time that you guys think in niches of your websites and owning multiple channels of traffic. And there's no better person I would talk to than Jill about doing those sites. So I'm so grateful for you. And I'm so proud of you, what you've been doing, Jill. I want to see you help more people. And this is the right way for you guys to grow and scale. In 2023, it's more websites. That's what I got.
Thanks, Tristan. Yeah, so I just want to leave you with, we only got 1 more minute and I want to respect your time. 2 things. This is what I do at Cherry Picked based off of what I have learned with Tristan and Twisty CA. I do daily social posts. I do weekly emails. I do monthly webinars. This is my second webinar, and I'm ashamed to say my last one was in August. I checked, but commitment to you guys that follow me, monthly webinars, monthly Ash Tiptoes. I give quarterly giveaways, quarterly press releases. I do my coaching groups in person every 3 months. I sponsor different groups of my ideal clients. So again, my ideal clients are chiropractors. So I do Dynamic Essentials, Florida Chiropractic Society. I'm now sponsoring New York Council. I'll be going to their stuff this next year. I gift every new client with a gift. This next year in 2023, now that I'm established and I have the finances to do it, I'm going to be starting to send out birthday gifts. I send random thank you cards, again, just because I am so appreciative that I get to serve you and you guys trust me with your websites. I have a private client only Facebook group. I have a private public Facebook group for my Ash Tiptoe, the crafted community. And then again, I coach with Black Diamond Club, and I have found a mentor in Tristan, which I'm very thankful for. So all of the things that I said and talked your ear off for the past hour, I said them because I do them and I know that they work. Speaking of websites, I only have 4 slots, and those 4 slots can start the build on February 1. So basically January would be your discovery month where we are getting all of your content. So I have found in my time of doing this, content is the #1 killer of why it takes so damn long to get a website up, because you have your copy, your images, your branding, your logo. Half the people don't even know where their domain is. So we have to figure that out. Domain transfers can take up to a week. So basically what I'm telling you is I only have 4 slots left in February until I'm pushing and booking out into March. So if you're interested in having your website redone or a niched website, what Tristan had just mentioned, I do only have 4 slots. I always like to say I'm a terrible salesperson because I just am not pushy at all. I don't like to be that way. I want you to make the best decision for you and your business. But if you're interested in that, I do offer complimentary discovery calls. You can book one, cherrypickedwebco.com/discover, and book that call there. But that is all I have for you guys tonight. And I hope you guys got so much information where you're like, my brain hurts, I just want to go to bed now. But if you have any questions, again, you can reach out to me. Let me put this slide back up. Again, this is my email right here and my cell phone. Make sure you take a screenshot of that. You're so welcome, Michelle. Thank you, Adrienne, for Dr. Adrienne, for being on. Okay, guys. Well, I hope you guys have a great night, and I will see you next time.